Dear students, today we are going to discuss active and passive voice. Voice is that form of the verb which indicates whether the subject is the doer of the action or something is being done to it. There are two kinds of voice, active voice and passive voice. We first start with active voice. When the subject of a sentence does an action, we say that the sentence is in the active voice. Let us read these sentences carefully. Namita sang a song. Britney Spears sang a song. Here we can clearly see that Namita and Britney Spears are the subjects and each one is the doer of the action. Verb is sang in each of the examples, whereas a song is the object in each sentence. Therefore, the verb sang is transitive. When the subject of a sentence does an action, we say that the sentence is in the active voice. Now, let us rewrite the sentences. Namita sang a song can be written as a song was sung by Namita. Britney Spears sang a song can be written as a song was sung by Britney Spears. Here, a song is the subject and it is not the doer of the action. So, these sentences are in the passive voice. Here, the action rather than the doer is emphasized. So, when the subject is not the doer of an action but something is done to it, the sentence is said to be in the passive voice. Now, when to use active or passive voice? Use active voice when the subject is more important than the action. Example, Radha stole my pen. The one who stole is more relevant than the object stolen. Passive voice is used if the doer of the action is not known. Example, my pen has been stolen. The one who stole does not matter. Now, this is something which you need to remember. It is very important. Only transitive verbs can be converted into passive voice, which means a sentence in active voice must have the subject, verb, and object in the following order before it can be converted into passive voice. That is, subject or doer plus verb plus object. Let's take one example. Ravi killed a snake. Here, subject is Ravi, verb is killed, and object is a snake. So, the verb here is a transitive verb. So, this sentence can be converted into passive voice. Now, we will learn the steps to convert active voice into passive voice. The first and the most important thing is the object of the verb in the active voice becomes the subject in the passive voice. Let's see some examples. Naman kicked the ball. The ball was kicked by Naman. In the above example, Naman was the subject in sentence A, which is in active voice. He is the doer of the action. In sentence B, the ball is the subject, but it is not the doer of the action. Second thing which we need to remember is put by after the third form of the verb in passive voice. You can see in the second sentence B, the ball was kicked by Naman. We've put by after the third form of the verb. Then put the subject of the active voice after by in the passive voice. In the second sentence, we can see that the subject of the active voice, that is Naman, is put after by in the passive voice. The form of the verb is changed according to the tense. Verb changes into perfect tense form. Okay, let's see one example. Kanak writes a letter. This is active voice. A letter is written by Kanak. Here, Kanak is the doer of the action in sentence A and a letter is the subject in sentence B, but it is not the doer of the action, and the verb form has changed from writes to is written. Okay, let's see another example. Mohan eats an apple. An apple is eaten by Mohan. Here in these examples we can see writes changes to is written and eats changes to is eaten in the passive voice. So here we can see that the verb is changed according to the tense. Now this is very important. Personal pronouns also change in the passive voice. Okay, and the change is as follows. Active voice, if the subject is I, in passive voice, it will become me. The object will become me. I changes to me. We changes to us. He to him, she to her, they to them, you and it remain unchanged. So that's all for this slide today, and we'll be discussing the change in tense in detail in the next slide. Thank you.